Hola estudiantes, welcome back to my channel. Let's continue to study for our Spanish oral exams. Let's go! Back by popular demand is another oral situations preparation video. If you were not aware, your oral exam will consist of oral situations, general conversation questions, as well as a reading passage. And so this video aims to help you to prepare yourself properly to sit the exam. It's packed with vocabulary and grammar as we peruse the questions together and try our best to formulate our answers. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, click that notification bell so that you can be alerted every time I post a new video, and like this video and share it, of course, with all of your friends. Also, don't forget to check out part 1 by clicking the link right here in the description box. Let's jump right into the first question. A stranger is asking for directions to the nearest pharmacy. She wants to know if she must turn right or left. She must do neither. A. What do you say to her? And B. How does she express her doubt? So based on this situation, it's very important for us to highlight that you are speaking to a stranger. So you have to use formalities, okay? The formal register. Now, based on what we're saying, maybe we're giving her a command, and so we would have to give her a formal command because we will aim to be polite. You will be marked down if you use the informal or friendly register. And then for part B, expressing doubt has to do with the subjunctive mood. So let's jump right into the answer. So for A, I said no, siga todo recto. Or we could say hay que seguir todo recto para llegar a la farmacia. No, go straight ahead. And that go straight ahead comes from the verb seguir. And so we're using the formal command, which uses the opposite ending. Seguir is also a stem changing verb. So that is why we have the E here changing to I. And once again, we're using the opposite ending for the commands. The commands, formal commands to be exact, are very similar to the subjunctive mood because the subjunctive mood also use opposite endings. No, go straight ahead, or we could say one has to or one must go straight ahead in order to arrive to the pharmacy. So you can choose which approach you would take, but each would suffice. For the doubt, yo dudo que esté situada en esta calle. I doubt that it is situated or located on this street. Now, once again, for doubt, once you're expressing doubt or anything along that line, we are going to need the subjunctive mood. And so, once again, I use the verb estar, but instead it is now in the subjunctive mood because it's the opposite ending. Estar is actually also irregular in the subjunctive mood, and that is why it has that accent. Let's go to the next question. Feel free to pause the video, think about your own responses, and then you can unpause and hear what I have to say in relation to the responses, right? So the second question reads, you visit the Argentinian consulate to apply for a visa. They need information about your trip. A, what do they ask you? And B, what is your response? So as you can see here, it's a bit vague. What we have gathered is that we are applying for a visa, so we know why we're there. Maybe we would like to travel. And so any questions could be asked based on, where we intend to go, or how many persons are we traveling with, or what's the reason for travel. It's pretty vague. And so we have the freedom to respond how we wish. How would you respond to this question? Remember to pause the video, think about what you would say. For me, I said for A, ¿cuándo piensa viajar? When do you intend to travel? Please note pensar can mean to think as well as to intend, okay? It's followed by the infinitive as well. And we are being formal because once you're in any establishment, any store, any restaurant situation where you have a clerk or an official, somebody who works there speaking to you, they're going to use the polite register. So when do you, as in the usted, you, from the el ella usted form, when do you intend to travel? And my response is pienso viajar durante el verano desde el 12 de agosto hasta el 20. I intend to travel during the summer from the 12th of August until the 20th. I really hope we have like a paper, a pen, something to note these words that I'm saying. Because if we intend to do extremely well in the exam, which is really my wish and desire for you, we can't just look and watch the videos. We have to write down the words, we have to study them, we have to add the words to our vocabulary, make flashcards, do whatever it takes for you to do well. Apply yourselves, apply the knowledge that I am instilling to you right now. Okay, so with that said, I really hope you're making notes. Let's move on to the third question. Your birthday is coming soon and your mother would like to order a special cake for you. A, what does she ask you? And B, what do you respond? So it could be something like, would you like, or do you prefer, or what type of cake do you prefer? So I'm kind of setting you up to think about your response for A. And for B, you would simply respond to whatever question you choose to ask. Did you know that you'll be getting 5 situation questions? You will have 10 minutes to prepare both the situations as well as to practice the reading passage that you were given. So we really want to go into the exam with as much knowledge as possible, how to form the responses, how to approach the grammatical scenarios that we will have to put together. What are some phrases that we will need? You don't know what you might be asked, but the questions usually stem from, as you can see, random stuff, also having to do with the content that you've been taught, school, restaurants, travel, formalities like introductions and greetings and getting to know someone. It can be anything. All right, so not saying that to scare you, I'm saying that to prepare you. Okay, don't say I didn't tell you. Let's see what I said. ¿Qué tipo de pastel prefieres? What type of cake do you prefer? Easy, right? And similarly for B, I just responded to that question. Prefiero las tortas de chocolate or prefiero las tortas de fresa. I prefer chocolate cakes or strawberry cakes or whichever flavor you wish to use. Now, I like to show off my vocabulary whenever I'm doing an exam. So as you can see, in part A and part B, I use a different word that means the same thing. Both pastel and torta mean cake. And so you want to show off as much as you can in the exam. Remember, this is where you leave it all. Everything that you've been studying, this is where you put it. So don't leave the room having all that information and not having said everything to get maximum marks, because we want to show off in that exam. I don't know about you, but I would want to show off in that exam. Let's move on to the next question. It reads, there is a special project at school in which you would like to participate. A, what reason do you give your teacher for wanting to participate? And B, what does your teacher respond? Once again, it's pretty vague. It's up to you to decide what the special project is, if it's a certain talent or skill that you have that you like to put to use. And of course, we can use the verb participar, which is a pretty easy word because it's a cognate. It's similar to the English. So, for A, I said, quiero participar porque soy bueno or buena if you're a girl en el diseño gráfico. I want to participate because I am good at graphic design or whichever area you would like to choose. For B, the teacher responds by saying, "Qué buena idea. Qué buena idea." We can note that. That can be used anywhere in our writing, in our speaking. Qué buena idea. Even in our dialogue writing. That's a very good phrase to throw in there. What a great or a good idea. The next question, you are working on a project on your computer, but you are having problems. A, what do you ask your brother? And B, what do you offer to do in exchange? Based on the things you've done on my channel so far, if you have been watching my videos and applying the knowledge, this is a question that I feel like we can respond to easily. So go ahead and think about, what would you say in this case? How do we request assistance? And how do we offer to help? Think about the words that we would use. Now, this is, well, both of them, both A and B are very popular and repetitive functions that are tested in written as well as oral situations. Asking for assistance, offering to help. Let's see what I said. Of course, to ask for assistance, it's puedes, especially if you are being familiar. Puedes ayudarme con esta tarea, por favor? Can you help me with this work, please? B, jugaré videojuegos contigo más tarde. So what do you offer to do? You could have also used yo voy a, I am going to. But I chose to use the future tense in this case, which also works. So once we're offering to do something, we can use the present future tense, yo voy a, followed by the infinitive, or the future tense, which is jumping right to adding on those endings at the end of our verbs, jugaré, for the form. I will play video games with you later. Más tarde means later. Please add that if you did not know it. How did you do? Was it similar to mine? Let's move on to the next question. For Christmas, you were given 2 identical items as gifts. A, what do you propose to your sister? And B, what suggestion does your sister make? Alright, so we received similar gifts. So maybe we could propose something like, would you like this one? Or I'm going to give you one. And then the suggestion is going to be the subjunctive mood, because once you're suggesting something, it's going to be the subjunctive, opposite ending. For this question, I said, yo voy a darte uno de estos libros. I am going to give you one of these books. And for B, sugiero que lo des a otra persona porque no me gusta leer. I suggest that you give it, that's the law, give it to another person. To another person, because I don't like to read. Now the subjunctive here is coming from the verb dar, and dar in the present tense to form would be das. So as you can see, it's just using the opposite letter, which is an E. So instead of das, it's des. AR verb using an E instead of the A. Our next question reads, you have made arrangements to meet with your friend next Sunday, but unfortunately, you will not be able to make it. A, what do you explain to your friend? B, what suggestion do you make? Now, if I get this question in a written exam or the oral exam, I would call myself lucky, because once again, this is one of the functions that we should know. How to apologize or state that we're unable to make a certain event, and how to suggest something. That is popular, so we have to prepare for it. So it would sound something like, I cannot make it, I cannot. We should be able to say that and give our reason. And then for suggestion, I suggest that we go or we meet at another time. So think about what you could say along those lines, pause the video, put it together, work it out. Now unpause and let's see what I had to say. Lo siento, pero no puedo ir el domingo, porque tengo una cita importante. I'm sorry, but I cannot go on Sunday because I have an important appointment. And for B, sugiero que nos encontremos mañana. I suggest that we meet up tomorrow. Now the verb to meet is encontrar, and if we're now being reflexive that we meet each other, so it's now encontrarse. That's why the nos is there. It means each other. Encontrar is an AR verb, opposite ending, E instead of the A. There we go. Our next question. Your classmates dislike a foreign student and you do not approve of their behavior. A. What do you tell them? And B. What do you warn them about? For this question, we could say something like, I don't agree with. And for B, the warning could be, if you don't do that, I will do this. Consequence. Let's see what I said. For A, I said, no me parece bien cómo están tratando al estudiante nuevo. I don't like how you are treating the new student. Or we could say, no estoy de acuerdo con su comportamiento. I do not agree with your behavior. So that shows some level of disapproval, don't you think? To state that you don't like or you don't agree with their behavior. That's fine. Now for B, we want to warn them. Tengan cuidado o habrá consecuencias serias. Be careful or there will be serious consequences. Now you're speaking to a group of persons, so you're going to use a plural command, which is what I did here. Tengan. Plural commands end with an N. And tener is irregular in the command form. So tengan cuidado, be careful. Or future tense, there will be consequences. Serious consequences even. We can note this down. Please do. This is a great response to use in future instances. You have gone shopping but forgot something at home. What do you ask your brother when you telephone him? And B, what does your brother respond? Alright, so basically we're asking our brother, can you bring an item for me? Literally, because that is what the situation is suggesting. Right? And B, we're responding with how he deals and treats with your request. And that's totally up to you. He can decide to agree or disagree to do what you ask. It's your response. It's totally up to you. As long as it makes sense and it is grammatically correct. For A, I said Pablo. So I gave him a random name, okay? It's great to like make the situations come alive. Pablo, ¿puedes traerme mi billetera, por favor? Pablo, can you bring me my wallet, please? Now he says, no hay problema. Estaré allí pronto. No problem. I will be there soon. Now I chose to respond like this because a popular misconception is how to say no problem in Spanish. It's not no problema or even no problema. It is no hay problema. There isn't a problem. So the I is necessary. Also, problem in Spanish ends with an A. It's masculine, but it ends in an A. So it's el problema actually. And then I will be from the future tense. I will be there soon. Let's move on to the next one. You have spent a long time on the only computer at home and your sister needs to use it. A, what does your sister ask you? So can you move? And I use the computer. Something along that line. And then for B, what reminder does your sister give? How do you say remember? That's something to think about as we go to my responses. ¿Puedo usar la computadora ahora, por favor? Can I use the computer now, please? And for B, the reminder, how to say remember is recuerda. Remember. That is used for our family and friends as an informal command. Recuerda que, remember that, no es solo tu computadora, es para todos. Remember that it's not only your computer, it's for everybody, right? Recuerda. Please remember to note that one. Vamos a continuar. This is easy lemon squeezy. We have to know this one. This is a popular oral question. Your mother asks you which is your favorite subject. A, what do you respond? And B, what reason do you give? Go ahead and pause and just shoot your answers out because I know you should have this one ready. My response was, mi materia favorita es la biología, or whatever subject you want to mention. And then the reason. Me gusta aprender sobre el cuerpo y es mi sueño ser médica. I like to learn about the body and it is my dream to be a doctor. Es mi sueño ser is an excellent phrase to include when we're talking about our future aspirations. It is my dream to be. And please note that we do not use articles with professions. So we're not going to say it's my dream to be a doctor by putting un or una. We don't put anything at all, whether we're writing or speaking. Your teacher has chosen a particular Spanish-speaking country for this year's school trip. Express your disagreement with the destination, and B, give a reason for your disagreement. So for A, I said, no estoy de acuerdo con ir a Cuba este año. I don't agree with going to Cuba this year. To say I don't agree, no estoy de acuerdo. Therefore, how would we say I agree? Yeah, definitely. Estoy de acuerdo without the no. That's important to note. Please note them. For B, a reason for my disagreement would be no me siento seguro or segura, depending on your gender, viajando a Cuba en este momento. I don't feel safe traveling to Cuba at this time. Let's move on to another question. Your parents have canceled the plans for the weekend. A, what alternative does your father suggest? And B, what do you say to express your disappointment? So once again, we have two instances where we need to put the subjunctive mood. For A, we're suggesting, and for B, we're expressing disappointment. And those are two functions of the subjunctive. Please let me know if you would like a video on the subjunctive mood. I could definitely do that for you, but I need to know that it's in demand. So if you would like a video on the subjunctive, please comment below right now saying, please give us a video on the subjunctive mood, and I will get that ready for you. In the meantime, let's see what I responded. For A, yo sugiero que nos quedemos en casa en vez de viajar este fin de semana. I suggest that we stay at home instead of traveling this weekend. Our verb here is quedarse, a reflexive verb, an AR verb, and because it's a subjunctive, it's the opposite ending, so we have an E. I suggest that we stay home instead of traveling this weekend. ¿Cómo se dice instead of? That's right, en vez de is instead of. And for B, to express my disappointment, I said, estoy muy decepcionada. If you're a male, you would say muy decepcionado de que ya no vayamos a la ciudad. I am very disappointed that we're no longer going to the city. I would love to point this out to you. No longer is ya no. Ya no. All right. And once again, this is the subjunctive, so we need the subjunctive of ir. We're not going to say vamos. Vayamos comes from the verb ir, and it's irregular in the subjunctive mood. Our final question reads, your sister would like to ask your father a favor. What does she ask? And what does your father respond? Once again, it's very vague. You can decide whatever you want to ask. However, you're asking your father something, so that's informal. And we should know how to say can you if it's something along that line. Let's go. For A, I said, Papá, ¿puedes conducirme o llevarme al cine, por favor? Daddy, can you drive me or take me to the movies, please? Now his response is a negative one. No puedo en este momento porque tengo mucho que hacer. I can't at this time or in this moment because I have a lot to do. Here's a bonus question before we go. You have placed second in a swimming competition and you are feeling sad. What does your coach tell you and what do you respond? For A, we said, no te pongas triste. Segundo lugar es un gran logro. Don't be sad. Second place is a great achievement. Do you see any new words or phrases? Please note them. No te pongas triste. Segundo lugar es un gran logro. Here's another tip as we close. This is an oral exam, and so your pronunciation counts. Please ensure to put on your best Spanish pronunciation. Pronounce the words as best as you can because mispronunciation is also seen as an error in an oral exam, and that applies to everything. Questions, reading, situations. It's an oral exam, so they're looking to see how best you speak the language. A similar response could have been, lo diste todo y eso es lo que importa. You gave it your all. Lo diste todo. And that's what matters. So we've come to the end of another video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to check out all the other videos on my channel because they're all there to help you. I really hope this video was helpful and useful in your preparations. Before you go, last but not least, do not forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to this channel, and click on that notification bell for more videos. Hasta luego. Gracias. Adiós.